Hey, hey, gang, this is Simba. Welcome back to another episode of the Lions Dan Crypto, where we're just going to break down some charts and some of the market moving news. There's a lot of great things happening. As we said last time, we are in the banana zone, the early phases of the banana zone, and we're going to start seeing some ridiculous numbers, and we can see that happening, right? It seems like everybody, their mom, their uncle, their auntie, right, they're trying to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible, right? We just got news from Trump, right? Trump media just announced to buy $2.5 billion of Bitcoin, right? So we're not just seeing this from Trump, right? We're seeing this from MicroStrategy. We're seeing this from sovereign nations, El Salvador, right? From anywhere that you can possibly go, right? Saudi Arabia, right? Everybody is trying to get and accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. So this is one of the many reasons of why I'm so freaking bullish in the market. And as you can see today, right, we have some of the big tickers. We have QNT up 18%. We have Virtuals. Virtual is one of my favorite top picks, right? I believe they're going to lead the agentic economy, right? They're up 16%. And Cake, one of the biggest decentralized exchanges on Binance. Binance is already the biggest exchange in the whole of Web3. So we're seeing some good top tickers really start to make moves. And guess what? Hey, Ethereum, it is coming back to life. I mean, 5%. It's something. It's better than like down like it was. So this is good news, guys. With that said, let's just jump into the Bitcoin chart to really see where we currently are. Right now, let's jump into the weekly. The weekly chart, phenomenal. Actually, let's take a look. Right, let's zoom out. Let's zoom out so we can see the full picture for Bitcoin. Look at this beautiful rocket ship, and we're starting all the way from 2010. This thing has just been moving. But people say Bitcoin is going to go to zero. Bitcoin is going to be dead. Look at this thing. This is one of the most beautiful charts you have ever seen, right? One of the top performing assets in all of history. So we'll move down to the weekly. This is currently where we are, right? We finally had broken through last cycle's top, which was about $69, almost $70,000, and we broke through that in just the beginning or just the end of 2024, and really climbed to the all-time highs, which was about $110,000 at the time. We did take a dip. This is where a lot of people thought, Bitcoin is going to go to zero or it's done for. This is the end of the bull market. I'm like, bruh, look, zoom out, man. Do you not see the picture, right? We just broke last cycle's all-time high. That just means we are just fueling up for more rocket. And this is exactly what it was, right? And especially, staying above the 15 moving average on the weekly, we perfectly held that, right? And now we're going to be, look, we're going to start seeing some crazy numbers till the end of this year, and maybe, till half of next year. I think this is how long the bull market is going to last, and we're just getting started. A lot of these altcoins have not even reached their all-time highs, right? And we're already at this level. So Bitcoin is ready to move. Let's go dive a little bit closer. Let's go dive into the daily, right? We had just broken through, and now we're kind of just hanging towards this resistance. I think this resistance is going to turn into support if we can defend that 109, 110K price point. I think we're ready to start seeing some new all-time highs for Bitcoin, right? And I think we can see this right now. It's holding on very, very well. So this is going to be phenomenal to see, right? This is going to be phenomenal. We just need to hold this level. Now we might dance around here for quite some time, maybe even a couple of days, maybe even possibly weeks. But this is where we're going to be dancing around before we really break out and start to make some new all-time highs. So watch out for these levels. Watch for what Bitcoin does here because we're about to see some ridiculous numbers. Now let's just jump into some of the market moving news for the last 24 hours, right, to see what the market is saying and some of the sentiment. Now let's jump into this one. This one I thought was very, very interesting, right? Hackers take over the Migos Instagram and leak Solana co-founders information, which is absolutely insane, right? Now we're starting to see a lot of founders start to get targeted, right, with their personal information. Specifically, even actually the ones that I've seen the worst has been France. So we know these founders are accumulating a lot of wealth, right, through their platforms, especially as they become popular, right, and they're being targeted very, very hard But this one, it was very interesting to see that one of the top founders in the whole of Web3, which is Solana co-founder, right, is being targeted, and they even happen to hack one of the largest artists or artist group, the Migos Instagram, just so they can harass Solana's co-founder. So anyway, Solana co-founder Raj Gokhal's personal data, including passports and IDs, were leaked via Migos hacked Instagram with extortion demands. So these guys are demanding money from these Web3 founders. Now, the hackers demanded 40 BTC, 40 Bitcoin from Gokal, and posted his private contact and used Migos bio to promote meme coins. Oh, these guys are devilish. These guys are villains. Not only are they demanding and extorting money, right? They're releasing meme coins at the same damn time. Villains. These guys don't give a damn. It's crazy. It's nasty work. Now, the leak raises fears of links to Coinbase's recent data breach, but no proof yet ties the exposure to the exchange. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we talked about how, Coinbase was being targeted. At least their users were being heavily targeted, and they actually had some of the insiders, they were being bribed to leak customer information. I wonder if this had anything to do with it. I'm not sure. But anyways, this is a trend that we're seeing, that a lot of these founders are being heavily targeted. And hopefully, as the bull run really continues, we're probably going to see more of this, but hopefully there can be a way to really safeguard and protect, protect people like Solana's co-founders, right? A lot of these people that are being targeted is founders specifically. I think it's a terrible thing to do, but where there's money, there's pirates. So that's definitely something to think about, right? Now, this did not affect Solana's price at all, right? Solana is a beast at this point. Say whatever you may about Solana. Solana is a freaking beast. It does everything that we need to do. Maybe not centralization, but when it comes to speed, right, and just how smooth and how the UI UX and kind of how they support their ecosystem, man, they're definitely top notch, and the market is resonating with them, and this is why they're growing at such a ridiculous pace. Right now, let's take a look at the weekly. Just look at the big picture, see the rise of Solana. Solana literally rose, right, from just about 30 cents, right, and came all the way to $270 the last bull run. We did retrace, but now we're climbing back up. Now, going down to the daily, right, we just applied this Fibonacci, but this looks exactly like Ethereum on a lot of alts, right, where we saw this big pump in the beginning of April, right? And Solana had reached all the way to just about $100 and $90, which was kind of crazy, especially going from $270 the last bull run, right? So it was a good buying opportunity. And now we're just pumping, right? We're pumping, we've scaled and actually came off of this 50% Fibonacci. And I think we're going to continue to rise, right? We just need to break this resistance at about $182 for Solana. And I think we're going to start making even major highs, right? And go towards breaking that all-time highs. That all-time high is really almost $300 for Solana's all-time high. And even looking at the daily, right, it really reflects a lot of the major altcoins, just like Ethereum. Ethereum is also sitting on this, it just broke through the 50% Fibonacci on the daily, right? And then really start trying to break that 61% Fib level as well. So as you can, comparing Solana's chart and then also Ethereum's chart, you see how similar that they are, right? Very similar. And they're both, this 200 moving average is acting as a resistance for both tokens. So this is very interesting to see, right? Yeah. We're about to see some crazy things happen for Ethereum as well. Don't sleep on Ethereum, but Solana as well is looking really good. And yeah, keep stacking, my guys. Keep stacking. But anyways, so much for that story. I think this next story I thought was very incredible. This project lets you send Bitcoin without internet access. Now, a pseudo anonymous developer has unveiled a hackathon project enabling Bitcoin transactions without internet access via long range radio. I thought this was phenomenal because one of the biggest attacks on Bitcoin, for the normies or the boomers, the old folks per se, right, is like, well, you can't spend your Bitcoin if there's no internet. No internet, you kind of stuck, right? You can't transact, you can't do any business. But with this, you will be able to do business and transact in Bitcoin without an internet connection, right? So that's one more thing that we can throw out that is, these Bitcoin haters are really throwing at BTC. So Darkwire, lets users send Bitcoin transactions over long range radio in regions without internet power or cellular networks. This is absolutely incredible. The transactions hop from node to node until reaching an internet connected exit point that broadcasts to the Bitcoin network. The system targets censored regions, disaster zones, and privacy focused users seeking to bypass surveillance. So this is great, man. This is phenomenal. I know this was a topic that had been discussed in some of the Bitcoin threads, and it's not, I can't say it's something that is new. I think people have done this kind of iteration or this project in a number of ways, but there's always been a conversation that you can send Bitcoin even without an internet connection, right? So it's great to see that people are continuing to innovate and really kind of go towards this route, because at some point the internet will go out, right? And those people who really attack Bitcoin for its need for the internet, they're absolutely right in that case. But now we can say, actually, actually, you can send Bitcoin without internet, and this is absolutely right. So this is great to see, guys. Another piece which I thought was interesting was Jupiter. Jupiter, everybody knows, is one of the top decentralized exchanges on Solana, which is I think they're a wonderful project. Actually, I think they're actually undervalued at this point. Getting in on Jupiter right now, yes, it's a good buying opportunity. But anyways, Jupiter's price surges amid expansion and Bitcoin tailwinds, right? The Jupiter's native token, Jupe, is really rallying to deeper momentum across Solana and micro markets, analysts told Decrypt. Right, and Jupiter's Jupe token spiked about 18% during the U.S. Memorial Day before cooling to about 4% daily on Solana's DeFi activity. Now, Jupiter remains the second largest DEX aggregator by volume, handling over $1 billion in daily trades, which is absolutely enormous, right? Jupiter's phenomenal. Jupiter is phenomenal in what they do. Again, they're one of the largest DEXs in the whole of Web3. Jupiter Solana. Let me take a look at it. There we go. Right. They also offer perpetuals as well. They can also manage your portfolio. There's just a lot of things that they can do. They can do lending. They're mobile. They have governance for their token. Spot, of course. So these guys are doing phenomenal work. But one of the reasons why it spiked recently was the recent announcement. It would launch a new lending product later this summer. Right. Let's take a look at their tweet. All right. Let's take a look at their tweet and. Early access. So some awesome things. And with that said, let's jump into the Jupe token just to see exactly where they currently are right now. Right. Let's start off from let's start with the daily. So looking at the Jupiter's chart, right? They really had an incredible rise, but also an incredible downtrend, because they launched right towards the end. Actually, no, they launched right in the beginning. Their token launched right in the beginning of 2024, right? And we saw their price go from about 40 cents and all the way to about $2.50, right? And of course, they did go down just like most of the major tokens. Once they come out, they release a token, right? The early investors usually take their profit, especially after such a huge run up, right? If you saw a token go from 50 cents and kind of do a 4x, 4 or 5x, you might take some profits as well. So that is fine, but we did see them retrace below their first couple of months, right? They did retrace down to about 30 cents. This was if you knew Jupiter and kind of the product that they're building, this was an absolutely great opportunity to get in. And again, if you follow me on X, I did mention this, like, man, Jupiter was looking really good. If we do come back and retrace this level at about 40 cents, because this had formed a nice support, right? So this was a support, a major support that I was really eyeing. And, if it came back and retested it, which it did exactly, it retested this and this looked good, I was like, okay, yeah, it's time to go back. It's time to go in. We're going to see Jupiter really climb up. Really, in the short term, I think we can even touch that 80 cents. Very fairly soon, right? Especially as they unlock that lending lending product is going to be insane, right? It's going to be absolutely insane. And I believe that they're offering up to, let me see. Yeah, the platform promises to loan to value ratios up to 90%. So this is well above the 70% average for crypto lending, and fees as low as 0.01%. Look, you can't even get that ratio in your local bank. Right, the loan to value ratio of up to 90% is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So, keep your eyes on Jupiter. Keep your eyes on Jupiter. If you're going to get in, I think this is a good opportunity, because they're almost close to their initial price. And this thing is only going to go up higher. And they're the second biggest decentralized exchange on Solana. And Solana, is doing its thing. So I think Jupiter is one to keep your eye on, especially these levels as well. I think we're going to run to about 85 cents and maybe come back and retrace. So let me go ahead and draw the. Yeah, I think we're gonna do a phenomenal. We might do something like this where we run up right all the way 8 cents. We might come back and test this support, or this resistance turn support, before we climb up higher. But yes, Jupiter, keep an eye. It's definitely one of the best long-term holds, right? So absolutely phenomenal. Anyways, with the last story of the day that I have for you guys is BNB Chain closes speed gap with Ethereum as the Maxwell hard fork hits testnet. You guys know BNB, one of the biggest, if not the biggest exchange in Web3 with their own token, the BNB Chain. They keep doing phenomenal work. Now, BNB's chain Maxwell hard fork halves block time to 75 seconds, boosting speed and syncing without sacrificing network health or decentralization. So these guys, they keep building, they keep improving the BNB blockchain, right? And they're really aiming to be faster, or to be just as fast or faster than Solana, right? And this upgrade is moving them closer and closer to that. Now, the Maxwell upgrade positions the BNB chain close to Solana's speed, and really enhancing DeFi gaming and high frequency dApps with nearly 2-second transaction finality. So these guys are awesome, man. They and at the same time, Binance, it being such a huge exchange that's generating a ridiculous amount of revenue, they almost have unlimited amount of money to build and really grow their ecosystem. We have seen this as well with Hyperliquid, right? When a blockchain has a product that's generating revenue, they can always take that revenue and really grow their ecosystem, right? And this is Binance has been one of the number one people to kind of show you this, right? Come up with a good product, build a community around it, use that revenue to grow your ecosystem. And even looking at the BNB, the BNB price is probably been one of the best performing crypto assets, right? That didn't go all the way down to like 80% down since they launched in 2018, right? Really coming from almost 0 cents, right? Like 10 cents and just blowing up. And you're talking about all-time highs really being about almost $800, right? And this was the last bull run. They did run up to $697, almost $700, and they retraced to about $200, right? And this is much better than a lot of altcoins that we saw, which dropped dramatically, right? But this one has held up pretty well, to say the least, right? Almost kind of looks like yeah, it looks great, and it's just about to break its all-time highs, right? It's just about to break its all-time highs, just like Bitcoin, right? Most of these alts that we've seen, they're not even close to their all-time highs, right? And BNB is literally right there. So as Bitcoin rises, does its thing, that's where we're going to start to see altcoins also start to pick up. But BNB is already close to its all-time high, so it's going to perform phenomenal, right? Let's jump into the daily. So it does have this resistance on the daily, which is about $570, right? We've kind of came back and retested it multiple times. So this is a pretty strong base. This around the $500 mark is a very strong base that it has, right? And you guys know what they say: the longer the shaft, the longer the base, the bigger the pop. So when this thing moves, it's going to move with enormous power. It's only a matter of time till it really breaks that all-time highs and really starts to go at an insane rise. But guys, for the most part, that's all I have for the top stories. But let's take a look at some of the top moving assets. Again, we've seen we have seen what Hyperliquid has done. You guys follow, if you're not following me on Twitter, go ahead and hit that follow button, because I've been talking about this, even posting some charts on my Twitter when it was just around $13. I'm like, man, guys, like, you get it, Hyperliquid, you got to get into this thing. This thing is about to explode, and I'm talking about this thing might even reach the market cap of Binance. That's how bullish I am, right? Of course, Binance is going to get his thing, is going to do his thing in the bull market and increase much higher. But if he can even get to the market cap of Binance, the current Binance market cap, it will be multiple X's, right? It just needs to get to Binance's market cap of today, right? Of course, Binance is going to go much higher as the bull market, but if it just gets even today's market cap, absolutely insane, man. These guys are not financial advice, but not financial advice. yeah, hyper liquid. And another one as well that I've mentioned multiple times as well is Virtuals. Virtuals has done phenomenal work looking at the weekly chart, right? Not too long ago, in the middle of last summer, they were literally about 2 cents, right? And they rose up to about 4 cents by the end of 2024. An absolute crazy run up, right? They did retrace like a lot of tokens as well. This had nothing to do with what they were building or their mission. It's just the way the rest of the market was looking, right? And of course, right now they've picked up. As Bitcoin really starts to reach its all-time highs, they're just growing at a tremendous rate, right? This is if you're into AI, or you see what's going on with AI, especially with AI agents and the convergence of AI and crypto, Virtual should be right there at the top, right? They have a whole economy, and their thesis is about the whole agentic economy. So these guys are building a phenomenal business, a phenomenal blockchain. You guys should definitely check them out. I think they're going to be one of the top altcoins, and even at this price, extremely undervalued. Hyperliquid, Virtuals, Jupiter, Sui, WorldCoin. So there's a lot of really great tokens, but we can go on all day talking more about this chart. So I might do even a live stream to kind of dig deeper into a lot of these charts, especially as we prepare for this banana zone. But guys, with all that said, much love to you guys. Keep stacking. Do not look. Don't fall asleep. Keep stacking, because this is about to be so much fun, and we're only getting started. With that said, please do give me a like and subscribe. And with all that love, take care. Bye-bye.